Hey guys, Civilord here, back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mattel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe Origins Hurricane Hordak. One of the final versions of Hordak, I think, quote unquote, I think we'll be seeing in the life of the Origins line, shy of maybe a 2000X one, because I'm not sure what else we could get at this point. That said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel. I did say it was a Mattel Creations exclusive after all. Were you not paying attention again, you silly goose? But at any rate, yes, Hurricane Hordak, complete with his pretty shiny chest armor. Thankfully, it is just molded to the torso. It's not a separate piece. It's one solid piece with the torso, unlike the MOTU Classics version, which no, I do not have. Let's just say Evil Villain does not have all of the MOTU Classics in the world to sell to yours truly, or trade to yours truly, more or less. So, therefore, I do not have that one to compare this one to. However, I do actually have a spare Hurricane Hordak that I will be sending to my good buddy Evil Villain as soon as I get the replacement in, because the one I got for him had a rattly torso. I don't know if that's to do with the vac metal or just something broke inside of it, but you know, for dang near 30 bucks, that's not acceptable. That is some bogus crap. But other than that, I will say I do thoroughly enjoy this figure, aside from one thing, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get to the meat and taters of this review and take a look, see at all Hurricane Hordak has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with the mini comic. I know nothing about this mini comic either. I know the last one of these we looked at, there was some cool stuff in the end, but this one is completely unknown to me. There's the MOTU logo on the back, so if anyone knows what's going on there, let me know, because I'm too lazy to read it. That said, what would Hurricane Hordak be without his arm cannon, which, like the Krang and the Two-Bop Steady, has a peg in it, a wrist peg essentially, and you just pop it into his arm. I really wish this was molded to his arm. It's got the little wheel there. But I do worry about this potentially breaking. Now, of course, if you plug it in and never take it out again, you won't have that problem. But, you know, I like to test things because I'm stupid. And I do it for you. That said, he does come with the little wrecking ball thingy. So you can spin that around. Pretty well, might I add. Yeah, this little wheel on the side there. So that's fun. You also get this little bat wing propeller. I feel like this should have had 3 blades on it instead of just 2. Seems lacking with just 2. But you could. That one gets even more. But essentially, it's like a little saw blade there. So that's cool. And then last, but certainly not least, I think, anyways, is this big honkin', I don't know what you call this, wind machine piece. This one, I'm curious how this spins. They all spin pretty good. You just gotta flick this little wheel on the side of his arm, and it goes, give it credit, it goes pretty well. Kids thought fidget spinners were fun pre-pandemic. Either way, you get that, and you also get this alternate Vengeance from Ghost Rider head. No, I'm just kidding. This is, believe it or not, an alternate head for this guy right here. This is the Sketch Series Hordak from the 2-pack with Elephant Grizzlor, and if we take his head off, this rather looks like he's off to Mordor to serve Sauron with this head. So putting that aside, you can give him this Mohawky head instead. Have yourself a proper Sketch Series Hordak, who has a cannon molded to his arm, or whatever that is a glaive, maybe. But either way, this is more or less what Proto Hordak's supposed to look like. Granted, I got the armband from the extra Hurricane Hordak that I'm sending Evil Villain. It's okay with me swiping that for this guy, just so he had an armband, because for whatever reason, the Grizzlor had one, this guy didn't. I don't know what's up with that, but either way, there you go. That is how he will be displayed on my shelf, something like that. And Evil Villain actually gave me that idea, so kudos to him for that. That said, as far as this head goes, maybe you could stick it on Whiplash, because it does kind of look like the Masterverse Whiplash head, but either way, or maybe the black Horde Trooper body, you could put this on there. That would look kind of sweet. It does have the black helmet after all, so, you know, you got some options there. That said, taking a closer look at Hurricane Hordak. He's got his blinged out torso armor. It is actually, like I said, all one piece. It's not a separate piece. If it is a separate piece, it's like glued on there, and I'm not messing with that, but I do believe it's a solid piece. It does kind of feel separate back here, but maybe his neck is glued in. I don't know. I'm not going to find out. But as far as his head goes, I do appreciate the fact that he's got the bags under his eyes. Because the first Hordak we got, he didn't have those. The second one we got, the Buzzsaw Hordak, he had those with the alternate smiley head, so I gave that to the first Hordak. This guy, he just came with it, so that's cool. But as far as his articulation goes, his head will rotate, look up and down. He does have some schmutz on his neck, but I don't dare chip it off, because again, I don't know if this neck is separate to the body, or if that's all painted on and could easily chip off, so we're not going to find out. His shoulders will go up, back down, forward and back. So we'll let the elbow with a hinge, that works fine. His wrist is really freaking loose because of the arm cannon peg being a completely different thing. Like this guy, he's got those little flat tabs for the alt hands, whereas the cannon here has this big circular peg, kind of like the old wrist pegs. So I guess if you wanted to, you could probably put this on the older Hordaks, and it wouldn't stretch that port out as much. But there he is with his arm cannon. It is not difficult to take off. It's fairly easy to take off. At least mine. There you go. I don't really feel like it's going to break, but thankfully I am going to have a spare in case that does, because Evil Villain didn't want that crap. So, there you go. But, yeah, he looks cool with that, I guess. I mean, it is what it is. He's got a waist twist, which is not the tightest thing ever. And then his hips will kick out to the side, back down, forward, and back. He's got a single jointed knee with a rotation, a boot cut, and then a hinge in the foot with a rocker. And not gonna lie, I'm half tempted to swipe the extra legs and limbs because they feel so much more substantial on this guy than the other Hordaks. Especially the boot cut on that first Hordak. Those things sucked. And it seemed to be a widespread issue, so I don't know what's up with that. That said, I do have an extra bat shield to put on this arm, so all three of my Hordaks can have their unique weapons and their bat shields to boot, so that is cool. But that is Buzzsaw Hordak. Hurricane Hordak. I mean, really, this freaking, hold on. This wing thing, wherever I put it. Basically a buzzsaw, it's just sideways. And not for nothing, he can hold this like a staff, so, I mean, if you want to do that, you can. But that does it for Hurricane Hordak, one of the, I think, better origins to come out of this Mattel Creations exclusive era. Not 100% sure if he's locked behind the Club Grayskull. What is it called? Heroes of Grayskull subscription deal. I mean, it's $10 a year. what else are you going to do with 10 bucks? Probably not buy a lot of figures because of them tariffs, I heard. So, with that being said, before we wrap things up here, why don't we bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Benevolent, right there, and the infamous current 11 Spawn, who, as usual, towers over everyone, because he is not a 5.5-inch figure. However, I think Hordak here is black and red enough to qualify to be a card-carrying member of the Men in Red and Black Club. What say you? So with that being said, I think it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the rattly torso on the Hurricane Hordak, I will be sending to my good buddy Evil Villain at some point in the hopefully near future. The only major issue I have with good old Hurricane Hordak here is the fact that the cannon is essentially an alternate hand. Much like the Krang from Turtles of Grayskull, as well as the Two-Bop Steady, or anyone else who came with weapons that have the little wrist peg in them. I do worry about it potentially breaking, so it is good that I will have a spare, but at the same time, it should not be a problem. And not for nothing, should just been molded to the arm in the first place. I mean, the Sketch Series Hordak has a cannon molded to his arm, or whatever that thing is, so I don't think it'd be too much to ask for this one to have the cannon molded to his arm. Heck, the Turtles of Grayskull Hordak has a molded on arm cannon as well, so it's not like they haven't done it before. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.